Good afternoon and welcome back to Franchise Sports. It's Brittany Defran here alongside sports analyst Alec Chessari.
And we have the latest on last week's high school playoffs and tonight's game. And 2 out of 3 teams in Tallahassee fell short in week 1 of the high school playoffs. Starting with the Leon Lions suffering a tough road loss against the Lee Generals. The Lions defense gave up 347 yards rushing, and 2 different players on the Generals accounted for over 120 rushing yards alone. The Leon Lions lost the game 42-0, and they finished their season 6-3.
The second team that came short of a win were the Tallahassee Lincoln Trojans. The Trojans fought till the very end of their game last Friday night. They came from behind, forcing overtime against the Columbia Tigers, but sadly that wasn't enough. The Trojans took a hard loss against Columbia, and the final score after overtime was 35-28. The Lincolns finished their season 5-4.
And the final game of the week 1 of high school playoffs is the Rickard Raiders, who happened to come up victorious in a major blowout, 42-7 against the Bay Tornadoes. The Raiders got off to a usual slow start, giving up a touchdown on Bay's first possession. Then to come back in the second quarter and score 42 unanswered points. One key player that got the Raiders going was Taven Jackson, who had a 76-yard pick six that gave them the momentum that they needed to win the game.
After defeating the Bay Tornadoes, the Rickard Raiders extend their win streak to 9 straight games. The Raiders will now face the West Florida Jaguars from Pensacola, Florida, tonight at Gene Cox Stadium, and kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. The Raiders played the Jaguars in a playoff match last season and won 42-39 due to their offensive performance. A key player in last year's matchup for the Raiders was Marcus Riley, who had 105 rushing yards and 101 yards receiving. So, Alec, how do you think the Rickards are going to be performing tonight, and what should the fans expect to see?
Like you said earlier, the Raiders are on a 9-game win streak, so they have all the momentum they need going into this game. You can almost predict that Destin Coates is going to be a key factor in this game. DJ Phillips has improved a lot throwing the ball. He's been real efficient in the past few weeks. And Taven Jackson already having a good playoff run with his 76-yard interception and making plays and making tackles.
That's all we have today for this week's high school football. I'm Brittany Defran.
And I'm Alec Chessari.
I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and stay tuned the following week for an update on the Rickard Raiders and West Florida matchup.